Okay, thank y'all so much for being on our Sunday night Zoom call. We have the privilege and honor to have Jill, my sweet friend Jill Renfro, on the call tonight. She is amazing, Emerald Ambassador. We actually formally met back in November at one of our opportunity meetings, and I just absolutely fell in love with her. She is such an amazing person, and I got the privilege also to hear her wonderful why and testimony at our Jules training here recently a few weeks ago, and she had everybody in the room in tears. She has such an amazing why she does this business, and we know how important it is to have a strong why, because it is what fuels you and keeps you going even on the hard days. So without further waiting, I'm going to introduce you guys to sweet Jill Renfro.
Hey guys, thank you so much for having me tonight. I really appreciate it and just feel so honored by your sweet words and the time people took to call in tonight. So thank you so much. Like Laura was saying, my name is Jill Renfro. I am an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus. I've been with Plexus about 20 months, so going on month 21. My anniversary will be in June, which will be 2 years. I am also a third grade reading and writing teacher full-time, so I do work a full-time job on top of my business with Plexus. Totally doable. If you're somebody out there who's barely swimming and you feel like I could never do this, I work a full-time job, I can't catch up with those girls, they're running, oh my gosh, well, it's because they don't work all day, they're stay-at-home moms, you got it wrong. Okay, I don't Plexus at all in the middle of the day. I don't even pick up Plexus till about 7 p.m. every night. So definitely doable for you to work a job that pays you full-time and part-time hours. I am married to a man named Dakota. We do not have any children of our own yet. I've got to get out of the classroom before that happens, which I will be leaving the classroom in 11 more Mondays. 11 more Mondays is what I have, and I will be retiring myself, and I am under the age of 30. So I will be retired teacher under the age of 30. So pretty excited about that one. So like Laura and I were talking about why. Why do Plexus? Why is your why so important? What does why even mean? Well, you know, I honestly, and through this whole journey, I have never lost my why. Ever. I've talked to many successful ambassadors, a lot of people who I've even thought who are my mentors, and they've said, you know, I've lost my why, or I reached my why, and now what? Why else am I in this business? And I have felt I have never lost a why whatsoever. I've had a why from the second I signed up, which was to get skinny. That was about it. That's all I wanted to do. And then that quickly changed through the course of my journey, which I would say about month 1, I realized I could make income with this. And so my why changed to fun money, nails, hair, tanning, you know, things like that, just shopping that I wanted to do that did not include our budget. So that was a second why. And then your why evolves as you keep going on. And my why continued to evolve so big to where I knew one day I was going to change us. And when I meant us, I meant my husband and I. We have a wonderful marriage. God gave me one of the best men out there. He's never told me no. He's never cussed at me. You're probably thinking, yeah, Jill, you're in unicorns and gummy bears right now. No, I'm not lying to you. I've been with the man for a long time, and this is every day. He's just wonderful. And, you know, he has worked in the oil field majority of the time that we've been together, all of the time that we've been married, growing our relationship, dating. He's on the road. So excuse my French here, but we call him a road whore. Yeah, that's what he is. So he's somebody who chases the next dollar and chases the next job, and he packs his bags and he goes. And that's just the way that our relationship has been. And you know, it's really hard. And it became so much that it was my norm to say goodbye on the weekdays or weekends or whatever the case may be, and not know when he was going to come home again. One time he told me he'll be home on Friday, and he came back 6 months later. So that was actually right after we got married. It was the first 6 months of our marriage. He was gone. I saw him about 4 times, and it was about for a 4-hour span in between those. But that became normal. I didn't know any different. People would say, you know, I'm praying for you, Jill. I feel really bad. And I'm like, why? You know, it's all good. What else am I supposed to know? This is marriage, right? Well, as the years went on, we've been married longer and longer, and the want to, possibly want to have kids one day. Well, I decided, we ain't doing this. I'm not going to be married and have kids and single. That's not going to happen. I'm not married party of one mama over here. So I said, that's way back burner, way, way, way back burner. You and I've got to give. Something's got to give here. Me being a full-time teacher, I devote countless hours to my kids all day long. I mean, I'm there before the sun goes up and I'm leaving as it's dark. And that's just the way it works out. And as a teacher, people would think, oh, I'm a teacher, I get to spend all the extra time with my kids. Well, yeah, summer, but who's going to go to their awards program, their Christmas parties, their Valentine's parties? Well, I have to be with my own person, like my personal class. So it was something that always scared me because he's always out of town. He could never take a sick day. We don't know what that is. We don't know what vacation was with him. He literally had to say, I'm leaving the country and will be gone in X amount of, months from now, and not answer that work phone. So kids scared me. My life scared me with him. I loved him so much, but I knew something had to give and I didn't know what. So I had this desire of my heart that when Plexus got me my first big paycheck, my first paycheck was $49. I remember that. But my second month, it was about $500. And I told him, I said, I'm going to bring you home. And he laughed. Again, my husband is so sweet and generous, y'all. Like, never would tell me no, but this was probably the cockiest he ever was to me. And he said, no, you won't. He said, I hate to break it to you, sweetheart, but nothing pays as good as oil field. And I said, you're right, but I think I found something. And he said, you'll never make more money than me. And he didn't say this in a mean way. It was fact. You're a teacher, and I support you 100% in what you do. I love what you do. But, honey, my income is mega more times than yours. And that's just true. And it was on paperwork. And I said, I'm aware of that. But I'm not talking about today. I'm talking about what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring you home. And he just laughed and laughed and laughed. And so I turned silver, and I got my 3 ambassadors under me and got my $100 bonus. And I had about $2,000 PV that month. And so my check was like, well, are you serious? Like, this is really happening. And his eyes were kind of like, what do you mean? Like, okay, yeah, fun money. Yeah, okay, sounds good. I don't have to leave you any more cash when I leave again, cash on the nightstand or something like that. So, it became a new evolved why for me. It drove me. Every time I told him bye in the evenings and on a Sunday night, and I wouldn't see him again for a week, or I'm talking to him, FaceTiming him through a hotel room or whatever the case may be, I would tell him, this isn't for long. This isn't for long. And he'd say, okay, babe, okay, whatever that says, it's not for long. So my why drove me. When my ambassadors quit, when my ambassadors went inactive, when my preferred customers dropped off, when I didn't make that rank, I still told myself I'm bringing my husband home. And I don't know the time frame that that's happening, but I'm going to bring him home. My husband is going to come home. I don't know when, but it's going to happen. I never let my why guard down, ever. It's not going to happen. And you know what? On top of that, probably about month 6 of me driving him of I'm going to do this, I said, I'm not just going to bring you home. I'm going to bring me home. So not only are we just going to have the opportunity of you to be around more with kids, I'm going to be able to not devote myself to a classroom anymore. And when we decide to have kids, we're going to do this together. Like, we're going to be in it to win it kind of thing. We're going to be these rock star parents, and what we're telling ourselves. I mean, we'll probably end up with like Chucky or something like that. But we're going to give it hell, we're going to try. And his face and his mind was just, it couldn't wrap around it. But as my PV would increase and my team would grow, and as I hit gold and senior gold and Ruby, and finally about Ruby, he was like, you're doing this. And I said, yeah, I told you, you're coming home. And he's like, you still got, because y'all know, you've seen the income disclosure. Rubies make about $50,000 a month. And that was nowhere near close to oil field money. Because last year, Oilfield was really good, like really good. And it was this ongoing thing of, he's like, you've got like a fire inside of you. And I said, I do. And my fire that's driving me is you. I love you. And that's how much this business means to me. It means not only helping me, but helping these other women out there and other girlfriends or spouses or oilfield wives or whoever they're going to have the opportunity to do this. And I know so many women who are oil-filled wives. I mean, I'm in this little oil-filled wife club over here, and it's hard. And so we like joined together, and I said, I'm sharing Plexus with every single one of them. And women who have to tell their welder husbands in pipeline and construction, and they're never home. That's a hard job, and it's a hard marriage to be in. I'm doing this. It drove me, y'all. It drove me. Well, I guess about the time that, let me backtrack just a little bit. I was silver, and I told him, when I go emerald, you are going to deck your truck out. My husband drives a mega 1-ton Dodge Dually, blows black smoke everywhere. He's redneck me on all rednecks. And he said, all right, I'll paint the Dodge pink. And I said, okay, shake on it. Okay. So I hit Senior Ruby, and his eyes were like, oh my God, what is about to happen here? I don't even know. And so that month leading up to me ranking to emerald, he said, hey, let's make a new deal. I'm not going to paint the Dodge pink. How about I deck it out in big Plexus stickers? And I was like, okay, I'll deal with that. I'll do that. And he was like, but you actually have to hit emerald to do it. And I said, okay, again, I'm bringing you home. And again, it's fluff with him and on the road that he went. And the oil field crashed big time this past year. And my husband went to work every day. Very thankful. We're very blessed. He never got let go, laid off. They kept him on. They kept his promotions coming. But bonuses got cut. Incentives got cut. And he would leave with a packed bag. And it's so sad because I used to think when he would leave, I used to cry and say, I hope you'll turn around and come back home. I hope you'll turn around and come back home. I hope you'll turn around and come back home. Well, when the oil field got bad, I would say, please don't come home. Please don't come home. Please don't come home. Because the fear that he lost his job. And this has happened a lot of times in our life because of him in the oil field. And I remember saying to myself, I can't believe what I'm saying. I used to pray for him to come home, and now I'm praying for him not to come home because I'm so scared of the job and the roller coaster of the oil field. This is just ridiculous. And I just couldn't stand it anymore. And that drove me even harder. So it was about maybe about September this past year, he left again, really long leave. And I said, he's not doing this again. He is not signing up to do this again. I don't care what it takes. And y'all, I witnessed a Plexus miracle. That was September. I ranked emerald in October. And on the 28th-ish of October, I still had 1,200 points. I still had 300 points to go for emerald. And in those 3 days, my team rallied together. And on Halloween Day, I ranked to emerald. All the Plexus, 300 points in 3 days. Like, wow, what is that? And he came home 2 days before I ranked, and I told him, you're not leaving again. You're not. And he said, I don't know what to tell you, and I said, I'm doing this. I'm ranking emerald. You're staying home. I'm going to do this. Well, I ranked emerald. And then I got a little bit scared and said, you can't quit your job. I don't know what to do. You kind of get that freak out moment. You've been talking about it forever. And y'all, it's like the Holy Spirit just came over us in about January and it said, what are we doing? Why are you packing your bags again? What are we doing? We have prayed for an outcome. We have looked for something else, and we are not going to be able to do this next step if we are say fearful. We're not supposed to say fearful. God wants us to trust him. So January 15th this year, so just about 2 months ago, I retired my husband from the oil field. And that was a big day, huge day, because again, y'all, money in oil field is good, and he never got cut ever. So the money stayed good. But for my Plexus income to be able to bring my husband home and to know that if I never would have said yes to Plexus and chased that why down, like I'm not talking rode it like a roller coaster and stayed coasting. I'm talking attack it. Like if I didn't grab every day and say, I'm bringing my husband home, that wouldn't have happened. It drove me so much, it almost made me angry because I wasn't going to take no for an answer. It wasn't going to happen. I wasn't going to tell him bye. It was not going to be like this. I want to have kids. I want to be a mom. I want to go on vacation, but I want my husband home to be able to do that with me. I don't want to do it alone. And so in January when I brought him home, and y'all, it's been like it's like we got remarried. I don't even know what it's like because we are dating and we are married. It's weird. So we don't eat, the normal Saturday night dinners and Sunday movie days. That was rare for us. Very, very rare. So I'm experiencing right now dating your husband. And it's really nice to know here it is Sunday. It's almost 9:00. And this was normally the time we were loading up the trailer, loading up the truck. And I would say, "See you when I see you." And he'd always say, "See you in the fall if I see it all." But we don't say that anymore. It doesn't happen. So, if you haven't found your why to shake you from the insides and make your hair stand on ends, and if you haven't attacked it and you haven't said, "I'm not taking no for an answer," then you have not found your why. It's time to revisit it, and revisit it often. Revisit it daily. Tell yourself every day. I mean, I'm very, very much a Christian woman, and I pray over my business every single day. And I would say that in my prayer, I'm bringing my husband home. God, you have led this opportunity for me for a reason. You have answered a desire of my heart and his heart. This is why. I know now that you brought this into my life to do this, because if he's home, we're going to be able to glorify you more together. This is something we can only minister together as a married couple when we are side by side together in it. He can't sit with me in the church pews on Sundays and on Wednesdays if he's not home. And I can't minister to him if he's not home. He can't pour into me if he's not home. There's an absence there. We can't multiply and be fruitful if he's not home. So it's definitely something to grab on. If your why is retirement, if your why is to build your kids' college fund, if your why is to retire you, if your why is just to get out of debt or go on vacation, it should drive you to the extreme to where you can't stop. That quitting is not an option. That pushing full force is always the momentum that you know. You don't know dead weight. You don't know coasting. I don't even know what that's like. Like right now, my team, we're doing a flash sale right now. We've got a lot going on. My cell phone's like dinging up. I see all these messages coming. But those are things we treat it like the end of the month, 11 p.m. every single night. Every night. It's like it's crunch time. And it's something because that's what drives us. One more is one step closer to another friend we're going to help in their health and wealth journey, another friend or somebody we're going to help with their income, and it's going to continue to help us. Everybody benefits here. And in the end, the person who benefits the most is God. Glory to him. Because if we weren't out ministering and sharing healthy bodies, treat your body like a temple, and getting out of debt, God doesn't want us to be in debt, that we're able to give more. We're able to be around people and love on people more. I fully feel God has his hands all over Plexus. I really think he made this thing. He said, "Here's Plexus. Now minister to people through these products and through this opportunity." Like, I know, I'm sorry if I offend you on this. Sorry, I'm not sorry. But that's honestly the way that I feel about it, is the why is so much greater than us. It is to help. I got an amen. Somebody just commented or something. I mean, geez Louise, yes. This is how I feel like. He is telling us to go and do this. Why would he not want my husband to be home with me? Why would he want me to feel lonely? Why does he want you to be in debt? Why does he want your kids to suffer? Why does he want you to live unhealthy and your mother-in-law to live unhealthy? Like, why? That's the big word here, why. So why would he want that? Well, then you need to find your why and connect those whys. Why would he not? And why would you not? And put them together, and you chase it and you attack it, and you say, "I'm not taking no for an answer, and I'm going to revisit my why and rescript it daily." And who cares if it's misspelled, pin marked, whatever, it's got Cheeto dust on the paper, like whatever it is, you continue to do it. And your why is something that needs to be available to you, shared with somebody else, shared with your team. And that's what I encourage you to do also. If you have not poured this into your team, when I finally sat down and told my team my why, they were like, "We're bringing Dakota home, y'all. Jill doesn't need to be alone anymore." That was huge. And the why now, people would say, like, we went to Jill's training just about a month ago, and we talked to some pretty successful ambassadors who said, "I don't know my why." And it almost made me nauseous for them to me. Like, what do you mean you don't know your why? Like, I understand you can achieve bringing your husband home, and you could achieve bringing you home and achieve getting out of debt and paying that credit card. But now what's your next why? Make it bigger. My next why now, okay, my why now is bringing me home. I've got 11 more Mondays and I'm going to do it. And then my next why at that point is, right now, him and I have more time together. We are going to be able to, do a couples ministry, be able to have people, because our time is valuable. We have more time now that I'm not working a job, he's not working a job, and we're going to be able to do Plexus in a way that glorifies our Lord a lot more. And that is something that means so much more to me, to have my husband with me on a Wednesday night church service, like that right there makes me want to cry, That right there is something that is huge, and that we are not going to have to say, no, Dakota's working. Oh, we can. I've got a work meeting. That's my why. To go out. If your why is to build an angel house in Africa, by all means, that is huge. Chase that why and don't take no for an answer for it. I don't care your age, because you may say, oh, Jill, you're awfully young. Yeah, I am young. But young also means inexperienced. So I've got cards flying against me too, and you might say, well, I'm a mom. You wouldn't know, That's not the case. You've got different cards flying to you. Well, I'm a senior citizen. I'm older. I'm retired. We don't have that big of a network. Those are excuses that the devil has now put in your head. And it's time for you to say, my why is stronger and my God is bigger, and my why is going to squash that. Okay. I met a lady. She's the oldest Jewel we have. She's 70 years old. And she's an Emerald Ambassador. That doesn't matter. My dad is in his almost his 70s. He's very successful. Man's got rockin' PD. He's killing it, It doesn't matter. So if you have found somebody you are the excuse maker, I'm calling you out right now. I'm calling your dirty laundry. Stop with the excuses. My kids keep me busy. I work a full-time job. My husband's on the road. We're broke. Well, who's not these days? Okay. So scratch it. If I can teach 68 8-year-olds all day long and have some of the highest scores in my campus, okay, then you, my friend, can do this. Because as a teacher, I don't sit in a desk job all day in a cubicle. I cannot pick up my phone. You may be a banker. You may have the opportunity to answer your phone a lot more than I can. You may work part-time hours at a school and a college. You've got a bigger network than all of us. I wish I was in a college class right now to grow my Plexus business. It's huge, So if you have not chased it and gone to your networks and gone to your people and literally, just been transparent with them and said, look, here's the deal, sister, I want Plexus more for you because of X, Y, Z. This is what, there's a feel, felt, found method. And I use that a lot. I felt this way. I have found. I say that a lot when people are saying, well, I don't know about Plexus. Well, I'm not sure. I used to feel the same way. But I have found this and I feel this. People like when you are vulnerable. So if you have not been vulnerable to people and you have just been some salesy pitch and you've just been standoffish, I challenge you tonight, when you get off of here or sometime this week, write your why down. Now tell your why to somebody and tell Laura your why. She's your upline. You should be sending those whys to her and say, this is what I want. Let's work together. Let's game plan, because I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom and this is the last Valentine's party I'm going to miss of my kids. That should dig deep within inside of you. I don't even have kids yet, y'all. And this is something that I see daily. I have these cute little angel babies that I teach every single day. And I don't have one parent in my class who is a stay-at-home mother. Not one. No mothers come to my parties. No mothers come to field trips. These kids don't see anything of parent support. So if you're a working mom right now, and you may say, I can never be a stay-at-home mom. I can never do that. Let me just tell you on teacher behalf, your babies need you. Really big need you, like super above need you, because the teacher in the classroom is the one that coddles them and holds them when their mom doesn't show up to award ceremonies. So if that is not your why, I challenge you to look at that. Maybe just revamp. Maybe it's take your hours down a little bit at work or go to part-time. Your babies need you. I don't even have babies and I realize how important that is. Maybe you're a grown mom and your kids are out. Okay. Let me tell you this too. My mom works and can never retire. She didn't save smart. She didn't do that smart. And my mom's a grandmother now and can do nothing with her grandchildren. Nothing, because she works longer hours than I do. So maybe that's your why. You've got grandbabies you want to go be with. I would love for my mom to do that one day. And you know what? My plexus why is going to retire my mom too. That's how big my why is. So find it and drive it. So, I'm sorry I rambled on tonight and brought in a little bit of gospel here, but when God lays something on your heart, you just kind of go with it. And I just had to go with it. So your why is huge. If it doesn't tear you up, shake you, and make you a little nauseous, you're doing it wrong. I promise. Okay. Well, I'm honored to be on this call tonight, y'all, and thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you, Jill. That was so awesome. You're so good. Oh my goodness. I can't follow that. You're amazing. And you're okay talking about Jesus. We talk about Jesus all the time.
Okay, good.
Don't we, team?
My team too. We pray before every Zoom or for every opportunity and everything. So I'm like, but again, sorry, not sorry.
That's right. It's all about Jesus. And I love your why, because the thing is, it's bigger than us. Like, our why has to be bigger than we are. And like, your husband was bigger. Like, you have to make it bigger than you. And I remember when I first started this business, I said, don't just, because all the other MLM companies that I worked for was all about really our success, like my success. How good can I be? How much product can I sell? Well, when I started Plexus, I prayed. I was like, don't let it just be a blessing for us. Let it be a blessing for other people. And that is what this business has done for so many people. And that's my why now. My why has obviously evolved and changed, but my why is all about others now. Like, it used to be about me. I just wanted to lose weight, get skinny, but now it's about, it's about other people. And like you said, how many people could we help? You're so right about the classroom. I go up there with Grace all the time. She's in 4th grade. And I sit with kids that want me to be their mommy because they don't see their parents. Because I told this one girl, she said, can you be my mommy for today? And I'm like, of course. What do you want to talk about? And I found out some really tough things. I actually had to go to the counselor for her. But kids are hurting for their parents' attention, and they just, oh my goodness. I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's a huge
one of my biggest things with my why now is, to allow women to be home. And, if you're not even just to be home and sit in your yoga pants all day, no, I'm talking to be more involved, take your hours down, whatever, to have the opportunity to do that. Yeah. I'm telling you, I get called mom 15 times a day. And y'all, it's not by accident. It's because the teacher is the caregiver in the room, and they feel that warm and welcoming feeling. And I promise you, every single one of your kids is probably called a teacher mom. Like, it just happens. And for them to cry on a Friday and say, I just wish I could come home with you, And so you may think, oh, like, I know I'm not tooting any horns, but people may think, well, I've got a great life. I'm always with my kids, whatever. Oh, they're fine. They're with the babysitter. They want you. Like, they really, really do. If you haven't just like thought about that for a moment and, just to see how much time that teacher is with those kiddos. So that is bigger than what I can see. So I thank God that he's put me in the classroom to see this. He's put me in the experience of being an oil-filled wife to see this. And he has allowed Plexus to be in my life for this, because those 3 things have branched together, and I'm going to retire couples. That is my goal. Yeah. You can be parents together, or you can go on vacations and do life together.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, and Brad and I volunteer together. We do Meals on Wheels together. We're able to bless other people because we have this freedom. And another thing that another one of Jill's amazing stories, and she didn't bring this up, but I really wanted to tell you guys about this, is their church meets in a tent. Is that right, Jill?
Yes. I go to a Bradford Cowboy church. Well, so if you follow me on Facebook, you're bound to see my husband is cowboy all the way. Like, I'm talking like he rodeos and rides. So anyways, but yes, we meet in a tent. We do have AC and heat, and we have sawdust floor, and we have fold up chairs. And I'm not lying to y'all. If you're ever in Bryan College Station area, please contact me. I'd love for you to come. There is more Holy Spirit moving in that dang tent than I have ever been into any other building. But our church building is going up debt-free, and that has been one of our whys. It's actually on one of the backgrounds on my phone. We want to help our church be debt-free and to get out of that tent. And hopefully we will have our first Sunday church service next Sunday on Easter. But all we have is cement, poles, and a roof. But hey, it's working.
That's awesome. Wow. That's so cool. Well, that's awesome. Jill, thank you so much for your time. And obviously, team, definitely what Jill said. I want you guys to send me your new whys, because when you first start, your why is going to be different. So when you guys, most of you have evolved and been in the business for a while, and I really do want you guys to revisit your why. And it should make you cry. It should bring you to the core, and it should fuel you like it did Jill. I mean, she didn't take no for an answer. She did not stop, and that's what it should do for you. So amazing, Jill. I have it on recording. I'm gonna make everybody watch it.
Okay.
It was so good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Does anybody have any questions? I know we had some comments.
Feel free to ask anything. I'm an open book. I'm very transparent.
Wow.
Almost to a fault.
Heather's just excited. She said she wants she said we're killing her right now. She wants to bring her babies home. We know you do, Heather. You will. I mean, you want to be home for you with your babies. I know what you mean.
Yeah, you will. I promise you. Like, if you stick with the only that's what's cool about MLMs here, okay? And people who work it, you either quit or you stay with it and you get to the top. Like that, those are your two options. Yeah. That's what you have to do in this. And if somebody would have told me 18 months ago, Jill, you're going to be at one of the top ranks of a multi-level marketing company, you're going to drive a Lexus, you're going to bring your husband home, you're going to quit teaching, I'd have been like, ha, what are you smoking? And get me some, because I don't know what world you're in. Like, that's what I would have said to that. So if you're thinking right now, I'm a silver, I'm a gold. Mm-hmm. I've been sitting at silver for XYZ. Y'all, I sat at silver for 9 months. 9 months I sat at silver. Mm-hmm. So it took me 9 months to go gold. And, you know, I could have quit so many times. I could quit so many times now, you know. Now I'm like ready for sapphire, you know. And I'm like, well, not yet. And what? But you know what? I'm claiming it. It's coming. So it's definitely something to where stop with the time frame. You know, it's kind of like when people put an age on something or a time frame. Stop. Those diets don't work. You're going to get 7 days, 21 days, 47 days. Okay, you don't need to be silver for 3 months to be successful. That's it. Take the numbers out. You focus on your little goals, because each little one is going to get you to your big one. And don't take no for an answer.
That's awesome. Wow, Jill, I didn't know that. You said it silver for 9 months. I had no idea.
Girl, I did. I couldn't figure out how to get gold to save my life. But then I figured it out, and I hit gold last St. Patrick's Day, so March 17th, and then I went senior gold 14 days later. So God was preparing me. I double ranked that month, 2 weeks into each other. He said, you're going to sit at silver for a long time, but you know what? It was those seeds I planted into everybody. Yep. It was the harvest that was coming. And I prayed over it. And not only did it just come, it came like a flood. Like he opened the gates and was like, and ever since then it was like boom, boom, boom. And it just kept going. But I could have quit so many times in that 9 months. I mean, heck, I could have, that's as long as somebody is to have a baby. I mean, that's a long time. Yep. But I didn't quit. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That is awesome. Oh man. Wow. Awesome, Jill. Well, thank you so much. Let's see. I don't think we have any questions. Everybody just said thank you and how awesome you are. Okay.
Oh, thank y'all.
You're awesome. Well, thanks everybody for being on, and thank you, Jill, so much. And I hope everybody has an awesome night.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.